Nobody heard it, but we ended up getting an EVP came across the recording asking if they could follow us home.
And I swear to God, there were two glowing red eyes. Even when I think about it, I think of mysterious forces, and I feel like something is there.
My journey began when I was 15 years old. I had a negative attachment that left me scarred for years to come. So negative that it affected others around me. Today, I am a skeptical paranormal investigator, searching for indisputable proof as closure to what happened to me so long ago. Join me on this perilous journey as we uncover the mysteries of the paranormal. Welcome to Amber's Asylum. In the town of Avon sits a beautiful bridge. This bridge was constructed over 100 years ago, but to the locals, this bridge is surrounded with mystery. This bridge is said to have a dark history, starting from its making when a worker fell into the concrete and was buried. I don't believe in urban legends. In most cases, the difference between the actual story and what you have heard are actually significantly different. So I set out to find someone who has had an experience at the bridge themselves.
I've been out to Avon Bridge twice. First time I was out there, it was like around 10, 11 o'clock at night. I was with a couple of friends, and while we were running our spirit box, we ended up, from where we were standing at, heard what sounded like a woman scream.
A woman scream?
Yes. There was nobody on the road, nobody on the tracks. We couldn't figure out where it came from. While I was there taking pictures, I ended up hearing what sounded like something had fell from the bridge. When I went to investigate, there was no disturbance in the water, nowhere that I could find.
Oh my
no
gosh.
ripples, no nothing. While we were sitting there, me, my two friends decided we were going to go down closer to the water, and we started doing a recording, just asking simple questions. Well, while we were there, nobody heard it, but we ended up getting an EVP came across the recording asking if they could follow us home.
Oh, okay. And do you have that recording with you?
Yes, I do.
Awesome. That is pretty clear.
The second time I went, my husband was with me, and they were walking the trail. And they were the only two on the trail, and they ended up picking up with something like a woman talking to them.
Oh, a woman. So that would fall in line, and the scream also would fall in line with like the urban legend of there being a woman, and the drop in the water too.
Yeah.
So that's really weird. Do you believe in the urban legend?
With the both accounts of me being out there, I do believe in the legend of the young woman that had been walking the tracks with her baby.
Mm-hmm.
So far, the only thing on the legend that I have not experienced so far has been the baby crying.
The baby crying.
Yeah.
In 1967, I started working in road construction, and while we were on the way, I asked him, I said, hey, you ever heard of the haunted bridge in Avon? So we drove there. This must have been about 4 in the morning when we got there, and it was a brisk autumn evening. We started climbing up the outside. We were going up. We got right to the top. My friend was in front of me, and he said, did you hear that? And I said, no, I didn't hear anything. And then we heard kind of an animal noise, and it sounded very large. We got up to the top, and we looked down the tracks, and I swear to God, there were two glowing red eyes.
Oh my gosh.
I don't, he saw it too, so I didn't look.
Okay, yeah.
And then we heard this animal noise again, and he sort of stuttered at me, did you hear that? But he was petrified. He couldn't move. So I physically turned him around, and I said, let's get the hell out of here. But we did see the two red eyes, and that's what really got me. And it was bright enough for us to see what should have been making what had those eyes. But we could not see anything other than two red eyes.
Do you think that the bridge has an overall kind of like feeling to it?
Absolutely.
Can you explain what it feels like?
Just a sense of mystery. I guess that's how I feel. Even when I think about it, I think of mysterious forces. And I feel like something is there. I really do.
While the witnesses' stories are very compelling, I'm still a little bit reluctant to believe in urban legends. So I scheduled a meeting with a local historian to find any kind of proof to any of these stories. I'm looking through some of the newspaper articles that they have pulled, and there's quite a few, but a lot of them just tend to reiterate the urban legend. And this is an article from 2015, and it just says, haunted bridge legends include during construction, a drunken worker slipped and was buried in the wet cement. So when the train goes over the bridge, people claim to still hear his moaning. A young mother was walking along the tracks to take her sick baby to the doctor. They fell from the bridge and both were killed. At night, sounds of the mother screaming for the baby can be heard. 4 workers fell to their deaths during the bridge construction. People still hear thuds and splashes in the creek, but upon investigation, the water appears calm, which I find very interesting because when we interviewed Fawn, she said that she heard something fall in the water, but she didn't see anything.
It never sounded like it hit the water. I mean, it did, but when I went to investigate, there was no disturbance in the water, nowhere.
So she's not the only person who is experiencing that. So I am reading this book. It talks about the different urban legends. It goes on to state that this actually isn't something that's paranormal in any way. This is actually something structural. It talks about how the bridges are actually hollow in between. They don't have windows, and everything is hollow, and when the wind passes through it, it actually makes cries or like shrieking noises. It says the engineers also used cellular design where feasible to eliminate structural redundancy. As a consequence, the pier towers are hollow and the spandrel columns contain inner openings which act as passageways between windowless rooms at span ends. I think that's really interesting. So if the screams, moans, the shrieks can all be explained by the way that the bridge is built, then how do you explain the EVPs, the red glowing eyes, things falling in the water? Something's not adding up. So we've been at the bridge for how long now? Not very long, like 10 minutes.
10, 15.
And the only thing I've done so far is get my drone stuck in a tree. We did see a train go by, though. But we didn't hear anything. So, okay, so I'm gonna try to get a base reading on the millimeter. I wanna see if there's anything happening. I don't really expect to see any readings, but also I could say that about other stuff. I don't think I can go down there. It's really hard because I want to go over here, but I don't want to be in the way. I'm not seeing anything. So we are doing this during the day because it is a park and the park closes and it's gated at nighttime. So you'd be trespassing at night, and that's not something that we do. I decided to use my portal device, and my portal device works in conjunction with my spirit box. It actually has a noise reduction pedal on it, so it gets rid of the annoying sweeping that goes on a regular spirit box. It makes everything a little bit more clearer and easier to hear. That one was something, I think. Can you speak to me? That one was a female. I definitely hear a female talking. Did you fall off the bridge?
throw her baby off the bridge?
I don't know. Did you throw your baby off the bridge? Did it say why? That was really clear. Can you set this device over here off? You just get up close to it and just touch it. Can you tell me what your name is? I mean, I'm hearing things, but I'm not sure what I'm hearing. But I'm not hearing a whole lot of things.
Well, definitely heard a female voice.
Yes, I definitely heard that. Do you want us to come back later?
Wonder if he was a bridge worker.
Was there any workers that got killed during the construction of the bridge? Did they seal you up and just leave you? Say leave me.
So they left you?
Did they leave you behind? Yeah. What was that? It was like something fell.
Piece of the bridge.
It's like fell right there.
Yeah. Well, look at all the erosion on
I
the
know,
sides.
I
You can
see
the
all of it,
rebar.
yeah.
So they left them. Why?
Do you know why they left you? Can you tell me your name? I don't know what that was. Can you tell me the name of the construction worker? I'm sorry that they left you behind. That was kind of fucked up, don't you think? But it's freezing and it's starting to snow. All right, I think we're getting ready to go. Can you say bye? Say bye. Bye. It's weird. I honestly didn't expect to get anything.
Well, so that's cool that it's like on cue, like that's intelligent.
It just doesn't make any sense.
Yeah. Well, I mean, in the sense of like, say bye and.
Well, yeah,
Literally
but I mean,
said
like,
bye.
is it like still urban legend thing, or would it be something else? I don't know, because I couldn't find any proof of all that other stuff.
Yeah. And that sounded like the same guy the whole time.
Yeah.
Wasn't really
Can I have
changing pitch or anything. But there definitely was a female.
There was, yeah.
presence.
Right when we started.
That's me.
And I think it was totally weird when we were asking questions, like all that stuff started like falling next to us.
And then why did he want to know, like, why?
Why?
Like, did she
Yeah.
throw the baby off the bridge?
Why? So I have my SLS camera. I'm going to walk around and see if I get anything with that. It's really hard to see because the sun's reflecting off of the thing. I turned up the brightness as much as I could. Is there anybody under the bridge? So far I'm not seeing anything. But also it's really hard to see. Like the light's just making it so bad to see anything. I don't know if you guys can see the reflection off of it, but that's like what I'm seeing is this reflection. That's why it's so hard to see. We're gonna shoot for an EVP session, and we have moved a little bit away from the bridge, as you can see, because there is water next to the bridge, and that's going to majorly drown out any EVPs, any sound that we're trying to capture. So I sent you the EVP that the lady had captured, Fawn. We're gonna replay it and see if maybe that'll
get anything. If anybody wants to come talk to us, come over here and talk into this over here. Come talk next to us. We'll be able to hear you. Okay? We're gonna play you a voice and I want you to tell me who's speaking. Can you tell me who did this? You can play it again. What is the name of the worker that was caught in the bridge? You can put your phone away. Can you tell me his nickname? Does he have a nickname? There's a lot of cars going by. All right, so I'm gonna grab a couple rocks and I'm gonna try a theory, because there are a lot of people who say that they hear something splash in the water but they don't see any ripples. So I'm really curious about why that's a consistent thing. So the first thing that I'm noticing is that this is actually extremely shallow. It's a lot more shallow than I thought it was gonna be. And there's a lot of moving current up this way. So I bet if something falls in that section of the water, you won't notice it, right? I don't think you will.
No.
Because there's too much moving current.
The only spot that would be feasible is right here in front of us, but
Right.
it's very shallow.
So the other thing that I noticed is when we were here the other day and all that stuff kept falling,
From the
right?
top up there.
From the top up there, if something were to fall in the water, it would be from the top of this. As you can see, the sides are coming off of it.
Yeah, they are.
Where
already.
is it going to land? Like right underneath the bridge, obviously. That half of the bridge has all the moving current. So I'm gonna throw a rock. I'm gonna try to throw it over here. I'm bad at throwing. So that made ripples, because that's a more
It
calmer
made that
area.
little plunge sound too.
It did, yeah. All right, so I'm gonna try to get it that way. Oh, no, I'm bad at throwing rocks. So maybe you should be doing this. I think that if you would have heard it and you come down, you would have never known where that went.
It would have to be a loud, because if you're up there, it would have to be a loud chunk, like a big chunk to make a noise.
To
because
make
I
something,
can't hear
yeah.
anything other than the current right now.
I can't, no. I'm gonna chuck one that way. But I mean, how long is it gonna take somebody to come down this right here?
Carefully, a good
Yeah,
minute.
you'd
but
have to come down here carefully. And by then, I think all the ripples would be gone. But it just makes you wonder, like, why are people hearing that? And there are pieces that are coming off. I'm not saying that that's what everybody's hearing. I'm saying that if something did come off on the opposite side and it landed in the water over there, there's no way that you would be able to see the ripples from it because there's too much current. However, if something did fall on this side, there's a possibility if you got here quick enough that you actually could see it. So is that why people are saying that they're hearing something but they're not seeing anything, is because it's falling on this side? I don't know. I wish I could get like in the water and see if we could find pieces of like concrete, but it's freezing. There's no way I'm getting in the water.
Yeah.
Here's a really big rock.
Try from up here. Yeah.
I'm gonna try to simulate like it would be falling off a bridge, but I'm not good at throwing. So that did sound really loud. And that was a pretty big piece too. But I do see ripples. Can you see the ripples?
Yeah.
Those were a lot of ripples.
Is the bridge haunted? I don't know. It's really hard to say because I've only been there twice. I can see why people continue to tell the story and why they think that there's a possibility that it might be haunted. We did capture some weird voices on the portal device. Hopefully sometime in the future we will have documented proof of somebody passing away here, and that can really help to kind of clear up some confusion about some of the story. I think only time will tell if the bridge is actually haunted or not.